This is Transformers' answer to Loki, or in other continuities, the embodiment of pure evil.
Oh, weep grana, weep ninny bong, and welcome back to
The Justin Network Toys! And this is our final video of the 400 subscribers celebration week. And as you can see here, we got the leader class from Transformers Age of the Primes. We've got one of the original 13, Liege, Maximo. And this was not the plan for our Transformers related video this week. We had something else planned, but logistically it just didn't work out. We had some technical issues. Look at that. What the heck? Got this from Hasbro Pulse, by the way, on pre-order. Come on, Hasbro, what happened there? But, yeah, so we got this. Very awesome as well. We are very excited to get this one looked at. That other video, just keep an eye out for it, because it'll be coming the next couple weeks. We'll make it up to you for it. But anytime we get to look at a leader class and one of the original 13 is a big win, at least in my book, hopefully in yours as well. All right, and here is Liege Maximo. Straight out of the packaging. Oh, okay, so you gotta put that up to get the spin right through here. Those nice looking shoulder upholders, very freaking cool. Got that spin right in there. Got a little bit of a wrist tilt to him, right? Gonna be able to go in and out like that a little bit. Gonna be able to spin in through there. Gonna be able to open this bad boy up and turn this thumb to the side. Very snazzy. Some extra movement in there than you're used to with the hands on these figures. The head here is going to be able to swing all the way around, look up and down. He's got, and I don't think, does that click in? Yeah, there you go. It just wasn't clicked in. I'm telling you, with all these spikes and stuff, it definitely gives him a Sharkticon look. He almost looks like he would be, oh, that's like a plastic. Yeah, it's not like a hard plastic. It's like a rubbery plastic. Okay. But he almost looks like he would be the father, the quintessence or something. But he's not. He's not. He's more of, you know, I like to say that these, ooh, doesn't look super good. There's just a lot of bolts and things. But, you know, actually, okay, maybe a little hard. It's not too awful bad. This right through here looks fine a little bit, but I'll explain that here in just a second when we get to that back again. But like I said, most of the 13, oh, interesting. So that just kind of, these are more of that rubbery plastic too. Interesting. And they just pop on like so. But I associate each of the 13 with something kind of like the Greek gods of mythology. With Liege Maximo, we associate him with usually deceit. He's kind of like Loki in some continuities, but in other continuities, he's just pure evil. So, you know, you go whichever way you choose. Let's check here real quick if he can. Easy feat for one so powerful as Liege Maximo. But yeah, he's got a crazy name, right? I remember the first time I heard it, I was like, it's what now? Liege Maximo. Very cool though, I would say. And he's a cool looking, oh wait, what? Okay, they can spin all the way around, but be careful, they get a little caught up in there if you spin them that certain way. Yeah, they just get a little stopped, so be very careful. We got two different movements on his knee back here. Not really. I think this top one has more to do with a transformation, but this bottom one, yeah, it goes like so. Let's see what these feet can do. Big old boys with the ankle tilts, and I think that's gonna be it. You do a little bit of movement like that. This part can fold up. It does come like that in the packaging, so make sure you throw that back down when you get him out. Give him that extra stability. I mean, he feels like he's got real nice stability. I'm not gonna lie. He feels very solid, very sturdy, very pristine. The plastic feels good. This look, man, is super like 90s feeling, right? This does not feel like the design they would give a modern Transformer. I kind of like that. You know what I mean? I grew up in the 90s. I grew up with all those toys in the 90s, the Power Rangers, Beast Wars, all that cool stuff. So I definitely am a sucker for that kind of design. I think this kind of fits into that design a decent amount, I would say. So, like I said, we wanted to show you something here on the backside, right? Well, he comes with some accessories. One is this ginormous thing, right? By the way, these are hard plastic. Oh, they do have a little give to them. Let's be very... Oh, no, the tips are not. They're more that rubbery, but the rest of it's that hard plastic. But this is going to plug in. This is going to be more for his alt mode, I think. Hold on here real quick. So you could have him hold this, because it's got these right here. Hold on, let's see what we got here. Let's see if we can make him hold this, and it could be like a big blaster. You could turn these around like so. He by the way, is supposed to look a bit like Unicron. I think there's a lot to him that feels Unicron-esque, and that's intentional. His story does have some things that puts him and Unicron in the same company in certain ways, but that's a long story for another day. And we do want to see there, little skirt bit can go up to give his legs a little more movement. But yeah, like I said, this can plug in, boom, 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 like so. Let's get this in here. It can go up like that. I think it's mostly supposed to be done like that. And then you can move these horns to be up like that, I think is the way we're technically supposed to do it. Yeah, and it just makes him even bigger to look at, but I do hate that those screws are showing. That's very, very, very unfortunate. Man, I really hate that, but I guess it was not able to be helped. Oh yeah, and I guess if we're going to check for, you know, the classic T-pose, we also got to check for one more classic move here before we look at his final accessories. We got to see if he can do the Jean-Claude Van Damme. Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. That's like crazier than Jean-Claude Van Damme. Yeah. And hold himself up too. Oh yeah, that's legit. That's super legitness. Alright, so now let's take a look at his final accessory. We have a little blaster cannon here. Alright. So let's go. Okay, so one thing I don't like is if you're gonna turn his arm like that, this is going to be the side, and you have to do that. I don't know. I guess that's not bad. For some reason, it feels awkward. I can't figure out exactly why, other than like it being here instead of, I don't know. But it does get a little awkward feeling. So let's see. These hands where it's got this thumb thing, they got a lot of, they just want to move real easy. Maybe a little too easy if you ask me. But that's his, you know, blaster cannon. But he also comes with 3 Liege darts, right? Each one's got a little bit of a different look on them. But they are, you know, his, like, weapon of choice. And, oh yeah, on his blaster, it's got his nice little symbol there. And you can plug them in like so. And so, it's got that full cannon look. Unfortunately, they don't shoot out. You know, back in the 90s, early 2000s, you'd been able to press that button and they'd shoot out. But not so lucky in today's world. But how about we go ahead and measure him up? If we go to the very highest point, which would be on the spikes, it's going to go up to pretty much 9 inches. If we don't go to that and we go to this spike instead, it's just slightly under 9 inches. I mean, it's pretty close. I guess you'd say 8 7/8. Pretty darn close. And then if you measure him out this way, Poldern to Poldern, it's going to be closer to 5.5 inches. Okay, now let's get him transformed. Let's take a look at that secondary mode. Just kidding, he's not ready to transform quite yet. He can pull this move and turn this into like a club or something. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Or just like that. But yeah, it can attach actually to his, you know, arm on this side. So that's a pretty cool indeed. And here is Liege Maximo in his spacecraft mode. I know that this got some hate. People said it was just kind of a big awkward looking spacecraft. But honestly, this is what a lot of spacecrafts look like in sci-fi, like cartoons and things. So I'm really not disappointed in this. I think it looks better than like some of the other ones that we get in the Transformers universe. I don't think it's bad. It looks like a big freaking mothership, which it is, a lot of people thought, reminiscent of the ones in, was it Dark of the Moon? Kind of like that, sort of. But yeah, so you see back here you got your thrusters. That looks pretty good from that angle. Fortunately, it's a little barren through here, but you know, from the front it looks pretty good. A nice little silhouette. From the top it looks super good. From a lot of different angles, kind of from up above, they look pretty darn good. It looks menacing. I mean, this looks like a tough evildoer ship, I'm not gonna lie. The bottom, not as impressive, because you can kind of just totally see the legs and there's emptiness and stuff down there. But yeah, I'm fairly impressed with this. I'm not gonna lie, I like it a lot more than I thought I would, and a lot more than your average person seems to like it. Obviously, the bot mode is better, but this is no eyesore in my opinion. Let's measure him up though. Height. Highest point's gonna be about 3 1/4 inches. Okay. How about length? Boom. And gonna be just about 7 3/4 inches, or pretty close to it. And if you go, I don't know, wingspan, I guess you could call it, it's gonna be closer to about 7 inches. Pretty darn close, maybe just a tad bit under. But yeah, this is Liege Maximo. As you can see, he's got his blaster bit down here with those Liege darts. But yeah, very cool. You could plug in something there, some weapons there, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know, I like this. I like it. It's big, it's bulky, and it's alien looking. I don't know, I think it's cool. I think this works a little bit better where it's almost organic looking, kind of. You know what I mean? It's got some organic looks to it. I think a lot of the times when you transform the Transformers into some of these spacecrafts, they look just kind of dumb. They look, you know, when you try to make them look like, I don't know, a space boat and that kind of stuff, it's like, oh, okay, whatever. But when you do this organic look, to me, this is working really well. You know? So, yeah, I'm impressed. I'm not gonna lie. Very impressed. Okay, let's get him transformed back. I got just a couple more things I want to show you. Alright, so we got Liege transformed back into his bot mode, and I want to stand him up against some other Transformers of other size classes, just so you can kind of see how he scales. First off, we have the core class from the Legacy United line, the Infernac Universe Geocron. As you can see, huge height difference. Huge. Not quite 3 Geocrons tall, but we're getting there. Next up, also from the Age of the Primes line, Deluxe Class Decepticon Crasher. As you can see, it's pretty close to 2 Crashers tall. It's slightly under, but big difference still. Then we've got him next to one of the other original 13, the Voyager class from the Age of the Primes line, and an Alpha Trion. As you can see, not a crazy high difference, but Liege still has a decent amount of height on him as well. And now you've got him with his other evil member of the original 13, the Fallen Megatronus, also from the Age of the Primes line, also a leader class. As you can see, they're pretty close in height. Obviously, if you count all the extra doodads, Liege is taller, but Liege Maximo head-to-head with Megatronus is pretty close. He's just a little bit taller than Megatronus, but they look freaking awesome together. Big bad. Alright, now it's time to break down the rankings for this guy. First off, as always, we have functionality. Remember, functionality is all about his articulation, the accessory storage, and his posability. Gave him an 8 in this department. He's got some really nice stuff. All the stuff with the hand, even if it's a little extra, is pretty freaking nice. It's made mainly so that you could sit him in a chair and so he could do like this number. You know what I mean? That's the main reason, because of that one picture of him from the G2 comics. That's like the main reason they did that. And that's pretty cool. I like that, you know, attention to detail that they added in there so he could get a pose in that you would want him to. He's also got pretty good stability. You know, he's got all the other stuff you would want in twisty and turnies. I guess his feet could be a little bit better, but I'm not complaining too much about it. He's got some interesting accessories though. Between this big bad boy back here, whatever you want to make of it, either it actually is an accessory or it's just part of his ensemble that comes off and on. But yeah, I think they did a pretty good job here. Then after that, we have transformation. Remember, transformation is all about that transformation process. You know, is it easy to do? Is it fun? Is it creative? All those good things. I gave him a 7. Creativity is okay, you know. I think the way all this works is kind of interesting. There are definitely some bits and pieces that I was like, okay, I didn't expect it to do that. That's unusual. That's not something I recognize. But then there's also some old familiar bits that you see, like with the legs connecting in and the feet flipping down, just different things like that. It really also, for being, maybe it took a little bit of time to do it the first time, but I think it's pretty straightforward after that. This is really, for as big of a figure this is, you would think it would be a lot more complicated in its transformation. It's not. I'm not saying super simple that a 5-year-old could do it, but it's also not overly complex like I think they end up doing with a lot of figures these days. So I actually like this quite a bit. And I think it was a fairly fun figure to transform and play with and mess around with in that process of going back and forth between his alt mode and his bot mode. One I definitely wouldn't mind to do again. So, he gets a 7. You could definitely argue an 8 even. And then last but certainly not least, we have his appearance. Remember, appearance is going to be how good does he look in the bot mode, how good does he look in the alt mode, and how well does he portray the character he's supposed to be looking like, which is Liege Maximo. And basically every adaptation of him there is. Mainly though, we're focusing on the way he looked in the G2 comics. They did some other things here and there. They actually made up a little bit of this just to fill in some pieces. But for the most part, he's supposed to be looking like he did in the G2 comics. And in my opinion, they did really well here. He looks really good in this bot mode. Like I said, it's got a real 90s feeling to it. It's very cool looking. That alt mode for me worked. I know it didn't work for a lot of people, but for me, I really liked it. I am a fan of kind of bulky looks, so that could play into it a little bit. But this guy just looks freaking sick. All the points, the inorganic / organic, robotic, androidy kind of look he's got going on. It's very, very cool. Like I said, very Quintesson, and I do like the Quintesson's look, the Sharkticon's look, and he's got aspects of both of their designs. Very, very nice in my opinion. I know a lot of that is the design and not the toy, but the toy does a very good job of putting that into a tangible form. Like I said, he overall does the bot mode well, he does the alt mode well, and he looks pretty close to the way he did in that G2 comics. I think he gets an 8 here. You could argue a 9, but because of little things, you know, like the bits right through there was a few issues on the back. It's not a perfectly designed alt mode. It's not a perfectly designed bot mode. They're just really strong. That's why I went with 8 over 9. But I would like to know, what did you all think? You think this guy was completely awesome? Do you think it was a miss? Would you like to have it? Do you have it in your collection? Do you think it's a hard pass? I don't know. You let me know though in those comments. I'm going to read every single one of them, and I'll comment back to quite a few of them, if not all of them. While you're there commenting, go ahead and like, share, subscribe as well. That would be highly appreciated. And if you're wanting to find something else that is related to this, go look at our old videos. We've got tons of stuff. We put up a video every week. Next week we'll have a new video just as normal. We got all kinds of stuff. He-Man, Pokemon cards, Transformers, Marvel, all kinds of different stuff along those lines. So yeah, just go check those out. And if you're looking for something a little bit different, go check out my second channel, Justin Network Movies. Over there, we be doing movie content, mostly short form, but we got a few big videos, and we've got some plans for some other stuff coming soon enough. But if you want a pretty constant flow of movie reviews, check out my letterbox, Justin Network. Over there, I'm posting 1 to 2, 3, 4 times a week. Usually it's around 2 to 3 times a week, though, about movies I've seen. Just recently watched The Odyssey, freaking awesome movie, and my review of it is up on there. Guys, I just really want to say thank you and appreciate you all. We got to 400 subscribers because of every single one of you. I want to keep growing. I want to keep getting this bigger, and we're not going to be able to do that without you. So guys, please just keep on watching, sharing, subscribing. Let people know. Anyone that you think would enjoy these kind of videos, let them know. Again though, really want to say I appreciate all you kings, queens, and all in betweens. And I reckon that's going to wrap up our final video of the 400 subscribers celebration week. I can't say thank you enough. Just know that each one of you mean a lot to me. Hopefully we just keep on growing from here. I guess now all that's left to be said is, till all are one, peace.